Welcome to Good Morning. Welcome to Good Morning DRC TV. We bring you information about what is happening in Africa. Today we want to focus on the Democratic Republic of Congo. But before I go on, can I please ask you, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe to the channel, share this link and give us thumbs up. We want basically to talk to you about what I see as a developing situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo that in the coming weeks and months may be revealed as a problem in this nation. That is to do with the opposition parties, those who are running to the elections, and not only them, but also to speak about not the Catholic Church, but certain individual within the Catholic Church that are going to be a problem to this regime, to President Felix Tshisekedi and his regime. So what we do know and what we do understand, that since the time from its really early stages when President Tshisekedi was announced and was basically became president, we knew and we could see from the different declaration that was made by the leaders of the Catholic Church that there was and there is going to be a problem, because one of them, that is Fridolin Ambongo, is always since the start up until now standing against the regime. Now, let me put things in context. It's not that the Catholic Church is against the regime. Let me remind you that prior, when yet the current president was in opposition, they relied more on the Catholic Church in order to fight the battles together, because they had enough of the previous regime and they needed a change in this country, and they relied on the Catholic Church to help, even though they had been in opposition for 32 years and the country rallied behind Etienne Tshisekedi, who is the father of the current president. Yes, he rallied a lot of people behind him, and he had support of the nation who were so tired and frustrated of all that was taking place in the regime, either Mobutu or Kabila's regime. All of them wanted this to come to an end. And the Catholic Church, obviously being one of the leading religious group in this country, it has a lot of people actually are members of the Catholic Church here. So within that framework, they have a lot to say. The education system in the Democratic Republic of Congo, many of them are run by the Catholic Church, or not many, but the education system is run by the Catholic Church. So what tends to happen is that many of these institutions or schools, if you like, those that are run by the Catholic Church, because they give a good education, so people pay a lot of money to have their children schooled under the Catholic Church. So what we have, because of that, I meant to say, is that the government gives a lot of support to the Catholic Church in order to run the schools and the hospitals. It doesn't belong to the government, but it's if you like, there's a partnership between the government and the church in order to take care of this education system and also some of the things that they do within society. Now, where the problem actually started is when President Felix came into power. One of the things that he wanted to do, according to sources, is that obviously he wanted to have free education for Congolese people. Now, when you touch education, that is actually an area that you're going to run into problems with the Catholic Church, as I said, because that is, if you like, one of the sector that they bring in quite a lot of money, because they deliver good education. Let us put it, there's nothing wrong with that. They make their money that way. And for President Felix to say that he wants to have free education, that he had pressed on the wrong buttons, because many of those who run that didn't actually like it. So they wanted basically to say, we said, no, I mean, if this is going to happen, then you have to subsidize what is actually, to subsidize the education. And the government, knowing what the government is like in the DRC, it had to drag its feet to begin actually to support, if you like, the education system with subsidies, which didn't really come quick enough for the Catholic Church. And then since then, what we have seen is that an affront, there has been, if you like, this kind of exchange between the government and the Catholic Church, which has not actually been good. Okay, as I said, from start up until this very moment, 4 years after, there is now a wrestling, there is now an exchange of words, there are confrontation between the institution, Catholic Church, and the regime or the presidency. But I have to admit that this is not the first time this has happened. In the past, it was that way, whether it is with Kabila or with President Felix right now. But the point being is that right now that we're going to the elections, you have to understand that the Catholic Church, somehow behaves as if, I meant to say that, as if it was a shadow government. And the priests within the Catholic Church, sometimes, I mean, put it this way, I think from what I'm seeing, they are politicians, even though they don't want to admit that they are politicians. Yes, they call themselves pastors, they call themselves religious clergy, but they are politicians in a way, because they're representing a Vatican. The Vatican is a government, if you like. And these people have diplomatic, immunity and passports and belonging to the Vatican. So what is actually happening here is that we can understand that not the Catholic Church, but some clergy within the Catholic Church here in the Democratic Republic of Congo, they have vowed that they will do what they can to bring this regime down, because they want to see a change of power, changing of hands, is somebody else. And now we know that right after the elections, the Catholic Church came forward to say that, okay, it's not President Felix who won the election, but they said it was the Fayulu who actually ran for the elections in 2018. Now, this in itself created a lot of confusion amongst the people, and it wasn't a good thing. And that kind of attitude they have carried on up to this very moment. So we have seen very lately that the president actually had a strong language that he used against them. He told them that the road that they were taking was quite dangerous, and it's going to lead to division or dividing the nation unless they mended their ways. And obviously this only happened this year, 2023, so only about a couple of months ago. So you can actually tell that there is tension that is building between the Catholic Church and the current regime, which I think, I have to admit though, in the last 4 weeks or so, things have calmed down a little bit. And that is because what they are claiming for, what the Catholic Church wants to do, is actually to supervise the elections. Now they're asking for the electoral documents must be audited, and now they think that there are certain things that are happening in order to they're preparing for a fraud in these elections, and they're thinking that obviously the person who's running the organization that is putting together the election is somewhat partisan to the current president. Now this is creating a lot of tension, and a lot of opposition leaders are hiding, not even hiding, but they are siding with the Catholic Church. They're saying no, this this is what we want to see. We want to see a change of the leadership within CENI, which is the main body putting together the elections. Now, they want to see an audit of all the electoral notes that they have. Now, the person running CENI said this cannot happen, and plus, the Catholic institution is not part of the CENI. So therefore, they just have to supervise or observe, just like any other person who is there as an observer. But you know, if you like, the leadership of this institution remains with Denis Kadima. So this is the situation at the moment. But we can all tell that the attention that is mounting and that is building. We don't know where it's all going to go. Most recently, one of the priests came forward by the name of Shole. He declared, he said that unless CENI made some changes, then the country was actually being prepared for a revolution that is going to come after the proclamation of the elections. And that is something that a lot of people couldn't actually stomach, because as a priest, I mean, nobody expected him to say those kind of words, but for him to come out and to say like that, it tells you what is actually being planned, what is actually not being said on TV. But there are certain things that are being planned already, and we don't know where this is going to lead up to. But what we can say for now, that there are tensions, and some clergy within the Catholic Church would rather see the president go, because they have their own candidate that they want to bring into power. And this is all politics. Now, they've moved away from religion, but it's now politics. So let's understand, a lot of people said, if you want to be a politician, just come out and say you are a politician, and then take your membership card or whatnot, and then basically become one. So this is a problem currently in the Democratic Republic of Congo between some clergy within the Catholic Church and the government or the current regime. But we'll see how things will unfold in the days to come. So please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe, share this link, and give us thumbs up. Thank you very much. Until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.